Hello everyone, today we have found a lineup of 5 black cars, 2 of which are quite interesting. First of all, we have the Audi Q5, and right at the back we have a Mercedes CLS. Well, yeah, just kidding. Let's have a look at the proper cars. So we have 2 LaFerraris and 1 F12 TDF. So let's take a look around them. We'll start with this one. Starting with this very nicely spec'd LaFerrari. So it's in a metallic black with lovely red accents on it. Red brake calipers, red stripes around the outside, and it also has very nice carbon badges there as well. This is a really nice spec'd LaFerrari. So let's take a look at some of the details of the car. So first of all, you'll notice there's these huge air vents here. So these are going to be letting air out of the front arches, which is going to improve front downforce. Then we have these nice front lips. They're quite small, but nonetheless it's going to provide some downforce on that as well. And of course it has a radiator here. That radiator could be air conditioning, it could be the engine cooling, I'm not sure entirely. But that's a nice big front grille. It looks pretty aggressive. Other things, the wing mirrors, well, door mirrors actually, they're very, very wide, stick out quite a lot. I guess that's so you can see around those really wide arches at the back. What else to say? So more radiators in here and more at the back here, so it's got a lot of cooling on this car. And if we take a look at the brakes, coarse carbon ceramic 6-pot Brembos it looks like, and they've integrated the handbrake into the actual caliper. The handbrake caliper is usually separated, but in this case they've put it into one, which is quite nice. This one also has a 70th anniversary written on it. And really the LaFerrari should be called the F70, right? Because they had the F50, the F60 should have been the Enzo, and then the F70 should have been this. Oh yeah, really nice car. And I believe all LaFerraris came in left-hand drive as well. Looking at the back of the car, there's a rain light there and big diffuser. And you can see there it has like active aero, so those flaps at the back will go up and down. So if they go up, they're going to produce more aero because that diffuser is steeper and more air is going to be sucked underneath the car, sucking the car down into the ground. And it also has a, never really noticed, but the back spoiler pops out of there, and you can't even tell there's a spoiler on this car unless it pops out, which is pretty cool. And there's the heart of the car, a 6.3 litre naturally aspirated V12 kicking out about 790 horsepower. Coupled with it, you can actually see some of the electronics there. There's actually electric motors as well, producing about 160 horsepower, taking the total to like 950 mega. So full carbon chassis, of course. Very, very nice car. And there's the fuel cap, quite small, considering there's going to be a lot of fuel used in this car. Even though it's hybrid, still going to use a lot of fuel. Cool, let's move on to the next car. So the next one is a Ferrari F12 TDF. Another mega car, made 799 of these, and it's in essentially the same spec. Has a green electric car and a G-Wagon. Let's get back to this though. So same spec as the LaFerrari we just looked at. Metallic black with red stripes along the sills and red calipers. So this essentially shares the same engine as the LaFerrari. So it's a 6.3 litre V12 kicking out again 790 horsepower. And I heard these are pretty difficult to drive, quite aggressive, mainly down to that rear wheel steering, which I hear actually makes it turn in quite sharply, so the back end is a bit lively. And that's these really nice aero slats on the front, It's not quite as imposing as the LaFerrari, but actually I think this is one of my most favourite Ferraris, which is very nice. And it has these, I kind of think these are one of the most defining features of the F12 TDF, these air vents at the back arches. So again, they let air out of the arches, improving some downforce. And this one has a huge filler cap. I guess because it has no hybrid power, it uses even more fuel. It's going to be heavier as well, less aerodynamic. But yeah, you don't think about fuel efficiency with these kind of cars, do you? Again, has a diffuser, but the diffuser is a lot smaller than the LaFerrari. Yeah. Oh, and look, we have another LaFerrari, right? So let's go around this one. This one's in a slightly different spec. This is not metallic black. It is just flat black, and it doesn't have the red stripes around the outside. It does, however, have the red calipers, and I really like these matte black wheels. Again, there's the engine, you can see the electronics there as well. It just looks absolutely mega. So they made 499 of these, and then they decided to make one extra to make it 500. Ferrari kind of does that sometimes. They usually make one less than they think they can sell, but I guess in this case they made how many they think they could sell. But yeah, 2 of these, that essentially means we're seeing like, what, 2 out of 500, so 0.4% of all the LaFerraris in the world, right there. And also TDF, 799 of those. Maybe they made an extra one to make it 800, who knows. Mega. This one doesn't have the carbon badges though, it just has a standard yellow Ferrari badge. And it does have carbon mirrors. I'm not sure if the first one had that. And there you go, you can see the VIN number. It is a hybrid vehicle. Very nice. What about tyres? So it actually runs on Pirelli P0 Corsas. They look pretty slick. Well, very slick actually. And quite wide. 275s on the front. Wow. That's huge. And then I think the LaFerrari will actually have smaller tyres than that, to be honest, on the front. This one's on Pilot Sport Cup 2s, not Cup 2R, so not the most extreme, but nonetheless, pretty extreme. And on the front, this one only has, well, it's a tyre size. Oh, 265, so a little bit narrower. Cool, so this has been probably the longest walk around we've ever done, and probably the most amount of value of cars we've ever seen in one shot as well. So I think these go for about £2 million. TDF is devaluing, it used to be 800, now about 650. So a total of about 4.6 million pounds right there. Pretty mega. So yeah, this one didn't have the carbon wing mirrors, did it? This one's only got standard ones. I mean, they're probably carbon underneath it, but yeah. Ooh, very nice. And I just noticed as well, this guy's covered up his VIN number, but it has another fuel filler cap. I actually think one of these is electric and one of them is for fuel. Yeah. It's a bit disappointing really. There is an Audi and a Mercedes in this lineup. It's been good to replace that with some other Ferrari, keep the lineup nice. Mega.